Chairman, Plantation Owners Forum of Nigeria, is Mr. Emmanuel Ibru, who joins us now in the studio to talk to us on the importance of oil as a source of revenue to Nigeria. Thank you very much for joining us on the program.
Thank you very much for having me.
As I asked, how important is palm oil to Nigeria as a source of revenue?
Well, the potential for revenue is enormous. The first thing we have to realize is that right now there's actually more demand for palm oil than in Nigeria than production. And so there are two ways that palm oil becomes important as far as revenue is concerned. One is, of course, in terms of revenue to the nation from the excise. And the second one is the potential in the future for us, once we do overcome our challenges, to be able to be a player in the export market. So
what are the various challenges that owners are facing at the moment? Is supply more? Is demand more?
There's, well, one of the major challenges, of course, is the investment required. The barrier to entry is quite high, especially if you're going to produce at an efficient level. You might just say, for instance, that the average cost of developing 1 hectare of palm oil, of land for palm oil, can range from anything from $3,800 to $5,000. And the investment required has to be patient investment. In Nigeria today, even though there's been attempts by the government to come up with various interventions to aid farming in general and palm oil in particular, the fact is that we require quite a lot of long-term investment, and it's not very easy to come by.
But in terms of export drive, how is the country doing in terms of production? Is it on the increase or is it declining?
Production has been on the increase for the last 15 years, I would say. But as I said, there's a shortfall, there's a gap between production in Nigeria and demand.
So how can we bridge that gap?
The only way we can bridge that gap is to continue on the intervention policies that are already in place, to make acquisition of land a little bit more easier, and to generally come up with various policies in terms of improving the value chain for palm oil production, making available the right hybrid seeds to outgrowers, improving on our outgrower scheme, innovations like that, which are already very popular in the 2 major palm producing countries in the world, Malaysia and Indonesia.
Okay, so red palm oil adulteration has been a major challenge for a very long time in the country. What is being done to end this?
Well, as far as adulteration is concerned, I wouldn't say that's been the major factor. What we've seen is an inflow of subgrade oil coming into the substandard oil coming. And then, of course, there are other substitutes that can be blended into crude palm oil.
Like what?
For instance, tallow, TPO, technical palm oil, which is not good for human consumption. That can come in. It's much cheaper than crude palm oil, and it can be blended. In crude palm oil, you expect that you should have an FFA content of less than 5%, which is what is meant to be ideal for edible palm oil. But TPO is above that, and which is used for industrial. It's usually cheaper, and you can find that there's you can blend the two.
And what's the reports already have it that importation of red palm from outside, wherever it is around the world, is on the rise. What can the government do to make sure that locally made products are better used right here in Nigeria?
Well, the first things first is that there is already some protection of the local industry. It's just a question of ensuring that the policies in place are actually adhered to. Right now, there's a combined tariff and duty for the importation of crude palm oil, which stands at 35%. That's number one. Palm oil derivatives like olein, stearine, these are totally banned. But you find that a lot of unscrupulous business people are doing a lot of funny invoicing and bringing in palm oil into the country under different headings. That's number one. Number two, our borders are rather porous. And I think the same thing applies to a lot of other producers. We've heard it from people producing rice. We've heard it from the poultry industry. It's the same for us. I'll give you a perfect example. In 2016, the Republic of Benin, which has a total demand of 70,000 tons of CPO per annum, and they produce 40,000, which means they have a shortfall of 30,000.
Yeah.
They imported into Republic of Benin over 500,000 tons.
Wow.
Now, obviously, that 500,000 tons is coming somewhere, and it's your guess where it's going.
Definitely. All right. Thank you very much, Chairman, Plantation Owners Forum of Nigeria, Mr. Emmanuel Ibru. I hope we can bridge the gap someday on this matter. Thank you so much for joining us on News Across Nigeria.